What's up, guys? This is a community cast. This was submitted to me by Time Lord, but actually, I was involved in this game, so it is one that is near and dear to my heart. We had a 3v3 matchup here, three Dark Elf factions played by, I believe it was Owen, Tanker, and myself, versus on the other side, we had Scythian King playing the Elithanar Shadow Peoples. Then there was the Illyrian Happy Avaloran people played by Judge Badass, and then there was the Tyrion's homies played by Time Lord. So with that said, let's just sit back and watch the Aster and Druchii beat the snot out of each other. So Scythian opens up with a volley of skirmish archer fire. He does have two flamespire phoenixes to interrupt, and then in the back line he has some spearmen supported by a lore master of Hoeth and Elithanar also taking some pot shots. It looks like they're taking some initial shots into some dread spears, but the volume of fire is certainly adding up, and actually even though they're shooting at the shields, it looks like they still have quite a bit of ammunition left. So of the things on the Dark Elf roster that you want to take shots, probably Dread Spears are at the top, but still missile damage can hurt, and it looks like Owen has already lost a unit over there on that far flank. I'm playing on this flank here. I've got two units of Shades, some Cold One Knights, two units of Executioners who can give the Spears a lot of headaches, and Archers too, and then some Dread Spears and so on. So the idea is the Executioners, which is lawnmower everything, and then the Cold One Knights, they have the tough job trying to deal with Tyrion, the Noble, and the Flame Spire and keep them under control, not to mention the Ithilmar Chariot. So yeah, over here it looks like some heavy damages are coming in on these foot troops. Bleak Sword's almost depleted. This unit of Dread Spears, it looks like it's fled and maybe rallied. Scythian's pulled back a little bit with his missile troops, and I don't know why Owen's not pushing up yet. If that is, I think it is Owen. It could be Tanker, but I think it's Owen. Maybe he's just trying to figure out what the plan is to deal with the Shadow Warriors. He doesn't have a lot of mobility, so I think that could cause him some problem. Aside from the two Dark Riders and the Cold One Knights, I think it's a little tricky for him. On the other hand, on this far flank, I'm being super aggressive here with Tanker. I think Tanker's playing the middle slot, and we're gonna just try and wrap up his spears with spears of our own, and then push in to the back lines, and everywhere I bring these Bleak Swords, I need to also often bring Dread Spears nearby of my own, otherwise the Bleak Swords will just get cycle charged. But it looks like Time Lord is getting screened out. I think this is a charge from Tanker that gets into the back line of Time Lord's archers. I'm not entirely sure, but certainly I will be following with a charge of my own coming in through here on this side. The Flamespire Phoenixes are going to respond to these Dark Riders, and they'll do some pretty good work here. Probably terror out these Dark Riders, but they'll rally and come back, and the important thing is to shut down the missile play long enough for my Hargoneth Executioners to go to work on these Spearmen. So Time Lord is getting a little bit of support there from Scythian. He's also receiving a little extra attention from Tanker, so it's kind of a wash. Over here we've got the Illyrian Reavers. They are rotating around. Dark Shards are perhaps trying to trade fire with these Shadow Warriors, but they are static right now, and it looks like they've just been charged by a unit of Illyrian Reavers from Judge Badass, so nice play there. Judge Badass looks like he's been hit with a Pit of Shades, possibly from Tanker. Pit of Shades is a thirsty Winds of Magic spell. I would have liked to see the Pit of Shades drop on these Swordmasters of Hoeth instead, which are much more expensive. These Spearmen are only 500 gold, but maybe it was a play to get Marathi out of trouble. I'm not even sure, because I don't know. Maybe he just wanted to clear the spears out of the way, but I would have liked to see the Pit of Shades go on the Swordmasters instead. Tyrion over here, he's getting overrun. There's just too many individual entities, and the front line is completely collapsing. It looks like I have a couple of units that are inactive back here that I should have been paying attention to, and it looks like Tom Moore's going to make me pay by sneaking those Reavers in. I guess I had screened them out with the Dread Spears, but he probably did one of those nifty maneuvers where he pulled them away and then just came right back around, and I didn't notice. So we will get into the Shades, but I do have another unit called One Knights nearby. They're going to respond, and that's going to go down. Over here, Flamespire Phoenix has been fully enveloped by Cold One Knights. It is going to drop. Over here, it looks like Pendulum is going to go down. Just clear these Dread Spears out of the way so that we can keep moving around. The Pendulum, I think it is less thirsty on Winds of Magic than Pit of Shades, and I probably didn't overcast it in this case because it's just Spearmen, and I think they only have like 30 armor or something. It's not very much. Yeah, 25 armor. So you don't have to overcast the pit. That here is a pit of shades going down on the unit of archers. Again, I think it's a waste. I would much rather see it go down on the swordmasters. These archers are only 400 gold, and they didn't even flee because of that. So you could have netted a lot more value, I think, on the swordmasters. Over here, the Ithilon chariots pulled back. Shadow warriors have basically shot up everything over on this flank, and with the support of Judge Battis's cavalry to kind of mop up the tattered remnants, there's basically a full rout on this flank. So Battis and Scythian working very much in tandem to clear this out. Now, I believe Tanker Legend brought Malkith on a chariot. I don't think it's the right choice in a matchup against the High Elves. I think he would have gotten much more value by putting him either on foot or the Cold One or on the dragon, but the chariot is a bit of a challenging choice against the House, let's put it that way, because the House have access to shooting and so many duelists, and they have very good mobility. So even when you do have the chariot, they can kite it often. So it's a bit it's like a fish out of water, in my opinion. Plus, there's tons of spears everywhere. Loremaster, he gets wrapped up. So it's really a tale of two flanks. This right flank has been won quite decisively. On the other hand, I think this left flank has been lost quite decisively, at least from the perspective of the Druchii. I'm sure the Aesir are very happy about the way things have gone over here. And now there's going to be a mosh pit in the middle, and anchoring that middle is going to be Tyrion, along with his Flame Spires and other things, and Malkith is going to pull out and look for a sneaky opportunity. Over here, it looks like there's going to be a Vortex spell of some sort going down, a Banishment. It seems to be trying to target the Witch Elves, and it is going to do some pretty solid damage to them. But so far, it looks like they haven't lost any unit models, which is a little bit surprising to me. Because Banishment is, oh, there you go, 3 unit models. That's not so bad. I thought Banishment was supposed to be a much stronger spell than that. They're not wearing any clothes, but c'est la vie. So there's a lot of units in the back here that are kind of rotating over that will need to get into position. So if you look at the balance bar, it's actually in favor of the Druchii right now, quite decisively. And there's not a whole lot left. There's Shadow Warriors with no armor, or sorry, no ammo. There's a Noble. There's Tyrion, who is I don't know where he is. There's a Flamespire Phoenix, who's basically dead. Looks like Marathi's been eaten up by Lord Master and Flamespire, so she's out. But yeah, it's Tyrion. What, 3 units of archers, 4 units of archers, and some light cavalry versus the world. That's pretty much it. I mean, yeah, there's still those swordmasters are a bit of a nuisance. It would have been nice if we could have got them out of the equation earlier. We are chasing off a Loremaster. The Shades are shooting in on the Flamespire Phoenix, trying to get that out of the fray. Chill of Santar is fleeing right now. The Flamespires are trying to chase him off, but the Dread Spears are responding. And again, that aggregate shooting from the Shades adding up. But look at this. This Flamespire gets the proc, and you see what that does to the balance bar? It just pulls it right back up. So very lucky stuff there for the High Elves. This one's very low too. Let's see if it gets the proc as well. That would be very unfortunate from the perspective of the Dark Elves. But over here, it looks like, yeah, the Noble did get onto Malkith. He's very not happy right now. Looks like I dropped a Malkith. Oh, but look at that Banishment. That is, so if you take individual entities and then Vortex spells, it's super hard for people to deal with. Because the only way you can counter them is by enveloping them. And then when that hits, you take a lot of damage from it. So tough stuff there. But Cold One Knights are going to come in here and try and react. Chill of Santar is running amok in this back line. Is he going to drop a breath here? What's he doing? I never noticed this when we actually played the game. Ooh, he drops a breath, but he roasts his own troops there, which is very punishing. It does break off the Lothred Seaguard, but he probably could have just charged them and not lost the unit of Dread Spears in the process. So very unforgiving Hydra ethics. Malkith is over here trying to stay close to the Witch Elves in case he gets into trouble. And then Tyrion and Noble are just not giving a fuck and running through pretty much everything. They're going to finish off Marathi. That's going to hurt the leadership. Some Dread Spears are going to come over, but they don't have the mobility to catch him. Basically, Time Lord is hunting Malkith right now. He just killed Marathi. These Dark Riders with repeater crossbows should be in melee right now. They should not be taking pot shots at these guys. They need to wrap them up so that the Dread Spears can start slapping them and so that Malkith can get away. I think that is what's going to happen. But the other thing here is there's also Alariel, right? So there's a decision point from the decision of the Dark Elves. Do you want to wrap up Alariel or do you want to wrap up Tyrion? You have tons and tons of resources left. So I think that the priority target should probably be Ilariel, get her off the field first, or maybe just run over these backline troops. I mean, if there's really nothing left, so it's going to be army losses if you can just kill off the rest of these troops. But it doesn't seem like we've really committed to either of these strategies. We have some stuff chasing Ilariel, but it's too slow. We have some stuff chasing Tyrion. Tyrion gets fully surrounded, but look at this Sun Fang. See the balance bar again, heavily in favor of the Druchii. This Sun Fang roasts like 150 troops. I don't know how many of these are belonging to Owen because his leadership is gone, right? Because he lost Marathi, so that's pretty hurting. Malkith is still running around on this chariot. That's Tanker over there. But if you look in the distance, there's starting to be a lot of Druchii units running away. The combined action of Sun Fang and repeated banishments is just grinding down these melee infantry. And now it's a question of mobility. I mean, the Reavers are really making it difficult for us to get the snares on the individual entities. Alithanar continues to shoot at Malkith as he's kiting around, and probably he's going to just snipe him out. And Chill Santar is now taking shots from, or taking, actually that's probably that's the decoy. Yeah, that's the fake Alithanar. So the real Alithanar is in here with Tyrion and Valeriel fighting in the midst of hundreds of troops. Oh, and the Loremaster against the Chill Santar. So Chill Santar is going to want to pull out of there. Supreme Sorceress of Shadow. What did I bring on her? Okay, Malkos, Pit of Shades, and Penendulum. So I would have been much better served in this case going against Tyrion to have Enfeebling Foe, or even against Ilariel, go with Enfeebling Foe, because Tyrion has ridiculous melee defense plus heals, and if my troops aren't able to get hits, it doesn't matter if I have a million troops, they're just gonna die. Alithanar here, he also has very high melee defense. I'm not sure what's buffing that. Is that Martial Prowess as well that's buffing it up? Does it say? Probably that's what it is. Yeah, he's still got his Martial Prowess, so plus 12 melee defense. He's got 70 melee defense. He's not taking hits, even though he's fully surrounded. Balance bar is still wildly in favor of the Dark Elves, and it's literally Ilariel, Tyrion, and Alithanar and the Loremaster versus everything. But the Loremaster and Ilariel just keep pumping in heals, and we can't seem to catch Ilariel, which is really irritating. So we're fighting like the super tanky, stand your ground, Fate and Repose Tyrion, who's got now 100 melee defense, and Alithanar. So yeah, we just can't hit him, unfortunately, for our perspective. So Tyrion, let's see how many kills does he have now. 111, still going strong, still proccing that Sun Fang. Balance bar still in favor of the Dark Elves, but I don't know. And here Tyrion has hit his healing cap, but everything's wavering, and there goes another heal from Ilariel, which is super frustrating. This guy refuses to die, and man, we needed some light cast so badly to tag Ilariel. Even with Malkos, if I cast Malkos on Ilariel, I don't think the Cold One Knights would have had enough speed to catch her. She's running at 107 speed. Why is that? Why is she so fast? No wonder we couldn't catch her. Okay, well, maybe because she issued a charge order. That's crazy fast. That's like a Flamespire Phoenix fast almost. Flamespires go 110 speed. A Great Eagle goes 100. Sorry, a Flamespire goes 120 speed. A Great Eagle goes 110. So on a charge order, she cranks up to 110 speed, which is tight. Looks like Malkith is going to get cut up by Ilariel, which is kind of sad. If you're like this badass guy and you get killed by this little chick on a horse, it's pretty hurting. Okay, here the Dark Riders do try and screen her out. So Malkith did have a trick up his sleeve. So, but this is the thing. I don't think the Dark Riders, can they stick on Ilariel? Because that would be amazing. I don't know. The Shadow Warriors are coming over. The Chill of Santar is right next by. If the Chill of Santar can terror rout these Shadow Warriors and eat Ilariel's face, that'd be amazing. But here comes Tyrion over to save his lady. Meanwhile, Alithanar still hasn't taken any damage from anything, which is just ridiculous because he's in the middle of 100 troops right now. The Grey, I mean, I'm super impressed. They have only they still have 35 leadership despite only having 11 unit models and fighting against the terror-causing monster. But maybe Tyrion is buffing their leadership and keeping them fighting. That's super tough. And now there goes the Chill of Santar because it's been pulled away from everything else. With the Chill of Sontar down, it's going to be really tough. I mean, maybe Chill of Sontar should have just been eating a Lithanar, because a Lithanar can't kite him. And Illyrio can. Tyrion can. Um, so, yeah, I think you always want to keep your big bad monsters buffered by other infantry or troops, so it doesn't get basically dueled. And it's going to get shot out here probably by these archers. Maybe it'll rally, but even if it rallies, it's at his healing cap. It only has 200 health. Like it's gone to the max. And now Tyrion is just in here with his boy Lithanar, just killing everything. So I'm going to fast forward. I think you know which way this is trending now. Malekith is going to get spanked in the butt from Tyrion. And then Tyrion just goes in and continues to take virtually no damage versus anything. And he does waver. He goes down. He thinks about calling it a day, having a glass of vino with his fellow elves. But no, not going to work. Not until he finishes his job. But look at Illyrio. I mean, she was so low. Hey, what's her HP? If we could have just killed Illyrio, 300 HP. Oh my god. If we could have just killed her, Tyrion wouldn't have had his mega heals. And it probably would have been GG. I mean, I think the big mistake from the Dark Elf perspective, in my opinion, was we needed to pick which one of these 3 lords we were going to kill. And we kind of couldn't really decide. And they are so wildly powerful, in my opinion, that they were just literally 3 entities just killed, like, probably, I don't know, 600 Dark Elf troops or more. You saw the replay. I didn't make it up. 223 kills for Tyrion, 173 kills for Scythian and Lithanar. Illyrio, almost 100 kills herself, which is ridiculous for a support hero, but she was dropping some big banishments and power healing everything. The Swordmasters didn't take any Vortex spells in return, so they cranked out 141 kills. And Badass was really good with his cavalry, and that prevented us, I think, from pinning Illyrio late in the game. I think Owen took some early losses there from the skirmishers. He didn't really have an answer to 5 units of skirmishers, which I think is above the maximum you can take in tournament play. But this, probably you can do it for quick battles. I'm not sure. I'm just referring to the 1, 2, 3, 4 unit of Shadow Walkers in the gray. It's a lot, but maybe, I don't know. And for myself, I mean, I think it went well early on, running over Time Lord's sort of front line, but and we were able to take out the Flame Spires, but the challenge was again Tyrion, and without having Enfeebling Foe, he didn't take any damage. If you're going against Tyrion, I think you need to bring at least 1 melee defense debuff. So either Enfeebling Foe. Well, Word of Pain, I think, is a melee attack debuff. It's not melee defense. I can double check that after. But anyway, yeah, I think an Enfeebling Foe there would have helped me a lot. I hope you enjoyed the replay, and we'll catch you around. Bye.